Now, Pablo, today is a very special day for us. It marks a milestone for the Cosplay Show.
Yes, definitely. We've left the confines of the Cosplay Show studio and we're here at the SMX Convention Center for a local convention called VOCA FUSION.
And today our special guest is from Singapore, the famous Jesuke.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yes. Well, speaking of local conventions, which local convention do you find most memorable?
Whoa. Local convention that will be my most memorable was held, that was in last 2010 Cosplay Mania X.
Yes, that was held right here.
SMX.
SMX
yes.
also.
You know why that's memorable to me?
Why?
Because I won. Yeah, I won. Surprise.
I thought it's because you can't remember longer than that.
Cosplay Mania X, yeah.
Yes. For me, it's also similar. But it's earlier, a little earlier. I don't know if you remember it. It's Cosplay Mania 2008.
Oh, why?
2008, that was the first Cosplay Mania.
Yeah.
Yes.
First ever Cosplay Mania.
Yes, and that's the first cosplay event that's all about cosplay. Before that, there were always anime conventions, gaming conventions, but never a cosplay convention. But that was the first time, that people took notice that, whoa, cosplayers deserve their own convention.
Yes.
And that's why it's always been my favorite and one of the best conventions every year that you want to
I
go
think it
to.
was the first big cosplay, all cosplay event.
Yes, no, first ever
Yes.
full-size cosplay only event. And they had the costume building contest and all these original programs, and it's one of those events you want to go to every year. So remember, this year, September 29-30, right here, SMX, 3 convention halls, 5,000 plus square meters of great cosplay convention. That's Cosplay Mania 2012.
Okay, but for now, let's go to VOCA FUSION. So we'll be right back later.
Yes, we'll see you.
Let's go!
Let's go! Welcome back to the Cosplay Show, and as promised, we have our very special guests, Jesuke and Vio. Let's give them a big round.
Now, I know Jesuke was here last Cosplay Mania X.
Yeah.
So how many times have you been here in the Philippines?
3 times.
3 times. How about Vio?
This is my first time here.
Oh, welcome, welcome.
Okay, I have a question for both of you. The very first time you got to the Philippines, did you experience any culture shock? Or how does it feel being in the Philippines for the first time?
It's actually very similar to Singapore. Yeah, like the weather and except for like the prices.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's much cheaper? Or?
Yes, definitely. Which is a very good thing. And the weather as usual is hot.
Yes,
Yeah.
Well, what's the difference between the cosplay events here in Singapore and here in the Philippines? Well, living here, so are there any difference?
Actually, there's a lot of our cosplayers, as I said last time, still quite look forward to more new challenges and the new outfits and stuff. Because I love people doing
Yeah, I think we have more armor than makeup cosplayers. I noticed that during the APA.
Yes, yeah. There were a lot of in Singapore. It's a lot of very nice clothes.
Yes,
costumes, very, very accurate because they have a better, I think, for fabrics.
Yes.
But here we're stuck with the armor.
With rubber.
Yeah. So we use the rubber a lot here. How about cosplayers? How do you feel? How are they different from Singapore? Like, are they friendlier or are they more active? Or?
I think cosplayers in Philippines is more hyper.
more hyper.
hyper, I think.
We're more excited.
Yeah, more excited.
We're always like on drugs.
As if we have less events here, but we have lots of events here.
We have a lot of energy.
Yeah. Have you noticed the photographers here in the building, cosplay photographers? So, is there any difference in the Singaporean photographers?
Actually, not much. Not much difference.
Difference. When I went to Singapore, I think the photographers in Singapore are more they would ask permission first. I don't know. It seems so kind of.
They think they're pushier here.
Yeah. They're more aggressive here.
More aggressive.
Yes.
But do they chase you around?
Well, if you're beautiful like Jess can feel, they'll chase you.
Oh.
You don't get chased.
Guy doesn't have that problem. so anyway, I'm just curious. Are there any VOCALOID events also in Singapore?
No, we don't have a VOCALOID only. We don't have a VOCALOID only event in Singapore.
So this is your first time to attend a VOCALOID. Really?
We don't have that in.
Wow.
I look forward to it.
But you have many Vocaloid fans in Singapore.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot
It's
of.
actually quite like big fan base.
How do you compare to the family? Around the same or?
Actually, every event you can see Vocaloid.
Oh really?
Yes, yes. 5 steps. Vocaloid.
Ah, Kaito.
What about the characters you're cosplaying?
Yes.
Who's that character? Why did you choose that character?
It's actually it's an art. It's an art illustration. Some artists do it.
Okay.
But there's no like rules.
It's not a specific song version, it's fan art.
Okay.
Who's your favorite character in VOCALOID? Which character?
Kaito!
Kaito.
Kaito.
Actually, I like.
That also.
Oh, you gay people. No, it's not.
The translated Tagalog also.
Okay.
So are you going to do some special role in the event? VOCA FUSIon?
Special role?
Yep.
Not really. Because I think the art for this is quite fun, let's have fun.
Okay.
So because we prepared some sweets in the bucket.
Okay.
So we just walk around and eat sweets.
Oh wow! So it's a very special role. So you're going to give something for the congoers, things like that.
Do you have a kind of a talk or something discussion with the VOCALOID?
There's a catwalk.
There's a catwalk. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think there's a catwalk.
So you'll be part of that catwalk also.
Oh,
Just to tell you.
Yeah, there's special guests on this. They should have a special catwalk.
Yes.
Whoa.
Well, speaking of the VOCALOID VOCA FUSIon event, what part of the event are you looking forward to the most?
This right event.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen the crowd inside. So
Every part. All the parts.
We mean the performance. Yeah, the performance.
they're going to see this. Because I heard there's a Philippine high tech, a Philippine Vocaloid singer. So
Oh.
yeah.
So she's going to perform.
That's what.
And there's a Japanese band.
Yeah,
You met
also
them?
Japanese.
So that's it for our guest, and we would like to thank our guest, Jesuke and Theo, and we hope to see you guys in the event.
We hope to see you after the event also.
Yeah.
So you can tell us what you thought about the event. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What does it do? It actually emulates the dancing like we will demonstrate one by one on how we do it from zero to the full song. So first, we do the pre-composition process. We do type.
Alright, let's do this!
And that is the VOCA Fusion event. That was so exciting. Pablo, what do you think?
Yes, definitely. It was really exciting, but we have to hang in there for just a few more minutes because this is part 2 of the interview with none other than Jesuke and her friend, Vio. Okay, so what did you think of the convention?
Wow, it's very exciting.
Very hot.
It's very hyper. We have a lot of fun.
Well, compared to the events in Singapore, what's the difference? What do you think?
Actually, in events in Singapore, I don't really go into the event hall. Yeah, but it was great. Actually, it was quite similar. Everyone was really passionate and very friendly and high. Yeah, fun, exciting.
Speaking of high, what do you think were the highlights of the event? You know, what were the most memorable parts of VOCA Fusion?
I think it's the
You don't remember.
The guitar guy.
The guitar guy.
Samurai.
He was really cool. And what do you think of the host? Made Macho. Made Macho.
Awesome!
Made Macho! Yay!
Actually, you don't know this, but Made Macho and Guy have a thing. So, have a thing. They're very, very friendly.
But really, the program was cool. Cosplayers, everything is. I think it's a success. So congratulations to the organizer.
Okay, well, if there were a sequel to VOCA Fusion, like VOCA Fusion 2, would you still go? Would you still come in? Yes? Next year? Next month?
Next month.
Next year, probably. We hope there's a part 2.
Yes.
This is a really cool event. So for now, we have to say goodbye. We would like to thank Jesuke and Theo for giving us a chance to be there. Hey, how about a VOCALOID clap?
Okay, thank you. And like every time, right?
No. Wait. Do you have something to say to your fans?
Fans,
Yes, we have fans here. Lots of them.
Some last
fun,
word.
have fun and have fun. Yay! Nice.
You have to say something. Say something. I love you.
I love you.
I love you, Made Macho. Something like that.
Wear watch King Tama.
Okay.
So this is our standard closing. When we close, we always say good night and keep cosplaying. So we do it all the same time?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Good night and keep cosplaying! You know, guy, it was really exciting to get to see Jesuke one more time.
That's right, and she was one of our guests last Cosplay Mania X last 2010.
Yes, speaking of guests, did you know that Cosplay Mania X started the tradition of inviting international cosplayers as guests to the Philippines?
Wow, it seems that Cosplay Mania started a lot of trends that people tend to see in conventions today.
Yes, Cosplay Mania has always pioneered the industry in conceptualizing new cosplay-related activities. It's one of the events that is responsible for shaping cosplay landscape as we see it today.
So, when did Cosplay Mania started?
Cosplay Mania began in 2008 in an event called Cosplay Mania 2008. It was held at SM Megatrade Hall 3 at SM Mega Mall.
It was the first cosplay convention in the Philippines to be completely organized and funded by cosplayers and cosplay fans. With the tagline, Plan, Build, Cosplay. It became the first celebration of cosplay in all aspects, including costume making.
Yes, that's right. And in addition, the regular cosplay segments, there were also activities like Costume Fighter Alpha, Costume, the video contest, and Costume Building Contest, or CBC. Okay, here we go. And this is like what the entrance was like. It was chaotic to say the least because there were so many people coming in. It was a lot of. We were overwhelmed by the number of people who attended our first event.
How many people came to that event?
I heard around 6,000. Oh, so that's a lot. If you see what the hall is like, it's a very small area. To have 6,000 people there and people clamoring to come into the hall to watch what was going on, it was really overwhelming.
Well, it's a big area, but when those people came, so
yeah, you feel like you're in a can of sardines. Where people, and this is the costume building contest.
Yes.
What we were talking about. This is an original contest that was held at Cosplay Mania.
So there are teams who built these costumes.
Yes,
Their
they
own
had
design.
yes of their own design. They started with the same materials, but they came out with something completely different and creative. Using all their abilities, and it doesn't end there because once they do the costume, there's a durability test.
Oh, okay.
Yes, where they had to fight each other, to find out which costumes were the most durable. Oh, here's Costume Fighter Alpha. It's a costrip at the time was a Filipino term, which means cosplaying, but in a tripping manner. That when you're tripping,
you're not joining
or
any
just
competition,
just having fun. And this was for cosplayers who didn't necessarily want to join the contest, but wanted to have a fun activity to do during the convention.
Well, I heard that those cosplayers have fun with that.
Yeah, and they had their own prizes and everything, and it was fun. And all it was basically you're throwing dice to see what the results were, and then you acted them out on stage.
And what about this? I think I remember this. This is the workshop.
Yes, this is the workshop, and it was one of the first cosplay workshops at the time. And it was, as you can see, it was very well attended. There were a lot of people, and one of our future guests for the next episode, she was actually one of the people who had, who led that workshop. And it was a great workshop where they were talking about, photo ops, how to set up, and cosplay, and, things like that are useful, like makeup and things like that.
So this was held in the function room?
Yes, this was one of the function rooms at the Megatrade halls. And it was the first one that was really, it's academic, but at the same time it's a lot of fun because you get to ask them questions, it's very interactive. Oh, this is costume.
Oh, okay, that's the
video contest.
Video contest.
And a lot of people sent in their entries. Some of them sent in entries from just their cell phones.
Oh, okay.
So you could do creative things, without having to spend for a big production.
I think it's more the fun of making videos, and at the same time, you can see their creativity.
Yes, and you don't have to have a huge production setup to be able to produce something, and it's a way for you to show your love for cosplay in a way that's rather different, rather original.
And whoa, so many.
This is this was a regular for us before. They're called the Storm Balls. And they were performers. They were performers.
Oh, okay.
And they really did this. They basically danced in front of the audience. And what I really liked about them is they're not really that conscious about their bodies. Just their faces, because it doesn't matter if you're out of shape as long as they don't know who you are. And this is the
for this all individual.
Yes, individual contest. So this was called Project Cosplay.
remember this one.
Yes, and we had a lot of different, different cosplayers who came, and actually a lot of people got their start in cosplay by going to Cosplay Mania 08.
And I know this guy.
It's a guy.
Yeah, well, that's Gene. He's very nice cross-dress.
Yes.
Funny. He's a funny
Yes,
guy.
and we had a lot of fun. There were a lot of creative things to see and lots of things to do.
Wow, Cosplay Mania was a huge success. But tickets sold out, and the venue was deemed way too small for a convention of this magnitude.
Yes, but the very next year, Cosplay Mania came back with the theme bigger and better, and they pushed the limits by nearly tripling the convention space.
Yes, and they include a new activities such as the Cosplay Museum, the Makeup Cafe, cosplay workshops were also held in function rooms.
Yes, and there were also a marked increase in the production values. And this was the very first time that an LED wall was used in a cosplay convention here in the Philippines. Alright, and here we go. This was one of the other activities. It's called the Quick Change Challenge, where they try to change as quickly as possible.
Like Superman.
Yes,
Booth.
like
Teleport booth.
Yes, so as you can see there, he's trying to put it on, but it's a little bit too small for him.
Okay.
Here you go.
Wow, look at that.
Yes, and that's the result.
And so there's the LED screen.
Yes.
Wow.
And this was a big improvement from other conventions because usually they used just regular projectors or no screen at all.
Oh, there's a good-looking guy.
Who's that?
Oh,
Who's that guy?
During the workshop.
Oh, so you did one of the workshops?
Yes. It's a workshop. Costume.
This is you also?
No. I think that's the voice. I think.
Oh, this is the voice acting workshop?
Yeah, I think so. I cannot remember this old lady. She's just lovely.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, look at that.
Who's that?
Very familiar.
Yeah, she's very familiar.
I like this poster.
Oh, this is the maximum costume. This was the photo contest.
That's the photo contest.
Yes,
okay.
photo contest. So we started with maximum cosplay as the first photo contest, and then it evolved from there.
It's
So-
like a poster.
Yes, it's like a poster, and we had galleries to show.
Mm.
Oh, this is costume, the video contest, and during this year it really exploded. There were so many. There were like 70 plus entries, and a lot of them were quite humorous, like this one. I think this is Cosplay Boy.
I watched that.
Yeah, it was
video.
actually it won like the favorite, the fan favorite prize.
This is a very good video of. It was done by Project.
Yes, it's called Rider Wars.
Oh.
So it was a big mashup of all the different Masked Riders. So it was a lot of fun and very very creative. And this was, this is the roots of how they started doing their videos.
They won.
Yes, they won.
And here's another.
And
funny
and this one.
video.
Remember how we said bigger and better? Remember we had the storm balls. Now this is the battle of the balls.
Oh, okay.
So you had the balls from the Philippines against the balls from outer space, and it was and this is one of the performances. I think this was Moonspeak,
Okay.
and they had a dance performance here.
Oh, and the costume building contest. And that's there's another. Okay. Oh, yes. No. Yes. That's cat.
This is
That's cat.
okay. That's Katlan Gomez,
Yes.
right? One of our guests from before, and going.
That's the CBC. Oh, concert. Okay.
Yeah. So I get it. It's like basically it's like shifting back and forth.
Probably while they're saying
Yeah.
the costume building is going
So
on.
it's like a combination of two different events put together.
I think
So
it's the costume building.
yes, because the costume building contest occurred at the same time as the
Yes.
stage program. So it's a way for us to highlight both events at the same time.
Is this the CBC Pirate Edition?
Yes. So I think this is this is actually the winner, I think, of the contest. And the idea was you had to go through a what do you call it? Obstacle course. Yes, and then at the end they check your costume because remember part of it is durability,
Okay.
and they saw how well your costume turned out at the end.
And again, we have this, I think this is group cosplay.
Yes, this is the group cosplay
right,
contest.
right.
Yeah. See, you see group in the back
Yeah.
there. So we had a lot of really nice groups at this time, and they had really good performances. Because I always said that if cosplayers have their creativity, they have their costumes, but if you give them the avenue to really perform at their maximum, that's the best way they can really show off, all their performance skills.
We have Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
I think that's from Street Fighter. Or
Yes, I think I've seen you try to do that and hit yourself on the head.
Yes.
Yes.
it was me.
No, I think this is really Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee from the movies.
Ah,
So
okay.
remember cosplay before at the very beginning it was just anime. Here
Oh.
now it started to broaden, and we have also had like cosplayers like Manny Pacquiao and other.
Okay.
So it's the way to broaden it. And can you talk about the age? The age range of the event. Here is somebody who's 5 months old. Yes, and what a way to debut, your cosplay to start off that young. Oh, and here
There's
you can,
Megatron.
we started from small and now this
Yeah.
is big. This is really big. It's one of the biggest mechas during the event. And I think this is Megatron
Yes.
from the second
First
movie,
one,
right?
yes. Just,
Revenge of the Fallen.
Revenge of the Fallen.
Yes. 2010 marked the first decade of cosplay in the Philippines, and Cosplay Mania was determined to raise the bar yet again. With the new theme, Decade of Cosplay, Cosplay Mania moved from the confines of the mega trade halls in Mega Mall and moved to the premier convention venue in the Philippines, and that is the SMX Convention Center. It was the first time also that Cosplay Mania would be held for 2 days. That's double the fun and double the excitement.
In addition, Cosplay Mania launched the first ever nationwide cosplay tournament in the Philippines. Cosplay Tournament of Champions, called Torch for short. The Cosplay Tournament of Champions spearheaded the concept of pairs competition similar to international competitions, but doing the tournament on a national scale.
The Cosplay Mania crew traveled the country, going to places such as Cebu, Davao, Baguio, Cagayan de Oro, Pampanga, and Manila to pick the best of the best to duke it out in the title, to get the title of the nation's best cosplay team in the grand finals at Cosplay Mania X.
In addition, there were also activities such as Cosplay Checkmate,
Yes.
and this also marked the very first time that international cosplayers were invited to the event as guest judges.
Yes, and we had Clive Lee, the world-renowned Gundam cosplayer from Singapore, and Jesuke, who we were reunited with when we visited cosplay from VOCA Fusion. This was Sony. This was the first time Sony joined us for the
Oh,
event,
yeah.
and this is their gamers lounge.
Oh,
So they had all their best, games there. So they had the PS3s and the 3D TVs. So it was a great experience. This was the entrance to the event.
that's the first thing?
Yes, this is the first day.
Okay.
So they went in. As you can see, there were a lot of different cosplayers in attendance. From Naruto, from Final Fantasy.
But I noticed there's a big space now.
Yes, but as you can see, the space quickly filled up.
Yeah.
Once things got the ball got rolling. Even though this was our first time at SMX, it proved to be a very huge success still. And this is also one of the videos, the landmark videos for the year. And we were talking about the experiences. It's called 10 Years of Cosplay.
Okay.
And it talks about the experiences of various, Miss Jin Hustle. Yes. And each cosplayer, they got a cosplayer from 1 year
Okay.
for the 10 years where they started. And then they all talked about their experiences about cosplay and how it's grown and everything, So it's like a way to remember the path that we went through, that cosplay has gone through the years.
And we have the video contest.
Oh yes, it
Lights-
was costume the first time, right?
Lights, camera, cosplay.
Oh, we changed the name for this year.
And we have these great videos from cosplayers.
Oh, I remember that guy in white.
Yes.
He was one of our guests also
Yes.
for the Tokusatsu special.
See, that,
And this is a really great venue, for them to be able to be creative
yes.
with their special effects and everything. As you can see, this is another Toku video.
It seems that every year they're getting better.
Yes, every year you can see the marked improvement,
Yes.
and it's one of the benefits that this kind of competition does give them. It lets them improve on their craft.
And this is the awardings of the photo contest.
Yes, that's the photo contest. and they had entries from all over. They sent their entries. Actually, the one you saw earlier was from Davao.
Yes.
So a lot of the entries were from different parts of the country.
Okay.
And this was the first time, this Cosplay Mania X was the first time that we really saw, interaction, not just from here in Manila, but from all over, from Davao, from Cebu, from the provinces, everywhere. So this was one way of unifying, the country in their enjoyment of cosplay.
And we see here, this is Clive, our guest.
Yes, Clive Lee. So as you can see, there you go. So he's as good looking as you.
That's the first time we invited a guest from other country.
Yes, and at the time he was the champion of the ARCC or Asian Regional Cosplay Championships.
And this is the CBC.
CBC. So CBC we always like to throw in a twist every year. So in this one they had like mystery boxes that they had to open up, and then they got their materials from
So
there.
every year we have this theme, right?
Yes, different themes. So for every year it's a different challenge. It's something that we don't want to keep it stale. Have the same contest. And this is one of the entries from the CBC. And take a look at this. This is a transformer. It's a transformer jeepney.
Yes.
So it's something that's specifically, Pinoy, yeah. And this is one of the other contestants for the CBC.
And also the individual contest. Cosplayers are improving, you're getting better and bigger.
Yes, and this is actually this contestant. She won, I think, best female, and she was from Korea.
Oh, really?
So this was also one of the first times that we actually got cosplayers that were coming from other countries to join us for this big celebration.
So it means that Cosplay Mania is getting known in other countries.
Yes, because we also had invited guests from international. Oh, who's this good-looking guy?
Yes, even with the mask, is good looking.
Yes.
No,
And the guy in costume is nice too.
Actually, that was the first time I joined Cosplay Mania individual competition.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was the first time.
Did you win?
Yes, of course.
So that's why you're here. Anyway, this is the group competition.
Wow, look at
And
that.
this was a group called Illusion Reveal.
Okay.
And they're known for their high flying stunts and everything. Oh, this is a Philippine X-Men team. Every year you can expect another song and dance performance. They've made it a tradition to really join Cosplay Mania and show them what and to really show how they're into their specific fandom.
And this is the first torch event.
Yes.
Torch.
This was the grand finals.
Oh yes.
So
yes.
I think this was the group that won from Pampanga.
Yes. And this is from CDO.
CDO,
Again,
yeah.
Euro.
From Avatar,
Avatar.
James Cameron.
Wow. And they're really, really good.
Yes.
And this is AC from.
I think he won in Cebu.
Cebu.
Yeah, Cebu preliminaries. And this is from Defense of the Asians. Warcraft.
Warcraft. And they're the guys who won.
Yes,
Right.
and they're the ones who won.
Look at AC. Okay. Wow.
And these are pictures of the guests and the winners of the event. So it was a really big deal and it was a lot of fun.
The very next year, the floor space in Cosplay Mania nearly tripled once again, with Cosplay Mania 11 occupying function rooms 3, 4, and 5. That's 5,200 square meters of Cosplay Mania goodness.
Oh yeah, and Cosplay Tournament of Champions grew as well, with 8 legs this time. The biggest news, however, was that the winner of the grand finals in Torch 2 would go on to compete in the Asian Regional Cosplay Championships during AFA in Singapore.
Oh, and we also had more guests from 3 different countries, including Yuki and Jiaki from Thailand and Pinky Luxon from Indonesia, as well as returning guest Clive Lee from Singapore.
Yes, and it was the very first time that Cosplay Mania also implemented the split hall system that allocated areas for the main stage separate from the dealer's room.
Yes.
This was even an entire function room that was free when we celebrated the Philippine Cosplay Appreciation Day with a huge freedom wall. So there was actually a free area during Cosplay Mania. And here we go. This is Cosplay Snapshots Project 2. Remember, we started with Cosplay Snapshots Project 1 during X, and we continued it with this time. And if you notice, this is also the video contest.
Yes. It's that's Project 8, right?
Yes.
Wow.
You can tell it's Project 8 if
Yes.
it's tokusatsu and action-packed and everything. So they have their own signature. And I think this was the Red Rebel theme.
Yes.
And this is one of our special guests,
Yes.
Pinky Lusun from Indonesia. So that's what I really liked about Cosplay Mania 11. It was really an international event. The year before, it was mostly from Singapore, but here take a look at this. This is
from Thailand.
From Thailand. And they were the WCS, World Cosplay Summit representatives from Thailand. So it was a great. And here, this is also a performance by ACE. Do you know what ACE stands for?
No, what's that?
Asian Chicken Fest.
Oh my god.
But it's not
Asian-
ACE, it's ACF.
ACF.
Yes, ACF. So,
Oh, I like that.
and this was CBC. And CBC really improved. If you could see, we're talking about giant robots this
Yes.
time. So we had those buildings and everything. You had fights and everything. So it was more of a fun, exciting event. And this is one of the big hits during the event.
The solo.
The
Individual.
solo.
Individual.
And we thought that we weren't really sure that the sliding. You notice the sliding?
That's a big improvement of
Yes, but it really got them. Everybody wanted to use it. It
Yes.
was a great addition to the event, and it was something that really brought drama to the event. You know.
a dream come true.
Yes, so, and the Angry Birds. but I like these entries, you know, because there are things that show, you know, that you can be creative.
Yeah.
You don't have to stick to anime. You can go through different things. Oh, and
Wow,
here is
look
one
at
of the
that. Look
one
at
of the
that.
sexier.
Yes.
Is it the sexiest?
Yes.
Yes, definitely
course.
the sexiest. Otherwise, you would get beat up. This is one of the sexiest costumes during the
Yes.
event. And I think that's a dark elf, right,
Yes.
from Lineage. Oh, and like I said before, the Philippine X-Men team is back again, and here's their performance. And if you see, their costumes are actually getting better each year.
With additional characters.
And and they have such a big group now. You know, their group keeps on increasing and improving. So this is something that really, you know, that Cosplay Mania really brought to the table. Also, bringing these groups together and keeping them, you know, as their annual event. Oh, this is Team Suna.
Yeah, I heard this team is really good.
Yes, they're one of the best cosplay groups out there, and they were really excited because they won the prize.
Oh,
And then
okay.
they said that, you know, next year they're coming back. Not only they're coming back, but they're coming with a brand new production.
Wow.
You know, a brand new skit.
This year?
Yes, this
Okay.
year. So
Wow.
we're all looking forward to their entry into Cosplay Mania.
Now this is the torch competition. That's
Yes.
the grand finals.
Yes, this is Torch 2. And remember, the stakes are much higher this time because the winner gets to go to Singapore to compete for the Pride of the Philippines.
Yes, and what we're seeing here is the double team.
Yes, and I really like their performance because it's a way to really interact with the
Yes.
video. And if you can see, you know, they shot all these, some of the video beforehand, and but the actor is reacting to them.
And we're seeing the winners from Cagayan de Oro.
Yes,
Oh,
Cagayan de
look
Oro.
at the costume.
Wow. You can see how the wow effect of that.
Yes.
You know, that's craftsmanship, but at the same time, you know, they perform really well. You know, down to their facial expression, the way they move. You know, it didn't feel like, you know, you were wearing rubber sheets.
Yes.
It felt like you were really wearing heavy armor.
And the craftsmanship.
Yes, and
Really
they didn't
excellent.
hold back.
Yes.
You know, when you could see sometimes they would hit each other.
Yes.
You know, and that's part of the passion of cosplay. And you're cosplaying at such a higher level. You know, in
Right.
Torch, because you know you really want to represent the country.
And this team is a very familiar character.
Yes, they were the winners from Manila.
Yes.
So here, this is Voltes 5, of course. It's a big thing for Filipinos. And if you see, let's vault in. There you go,
Yeah.
Voltes 5. So, and they really impressed me with their costumes and their creativity
Yes.
because they're not the most, you know, the richest or most,
Yes, yes, yes.
you know, but they are one of the most resourceful characters. They did add, you know, like that.
Yeah.
You don't see Voltes 5 doing that.
Yeah.
So it's something that really adds to the flavor.
And
of the,
this team came from Lucena.
yes, and they went all the way to Manila to compete, and they won by a very small margin.
And
So
this is they won in Cosplay Mania first one. The runner.
they were the runner-ups.
The-
Yes. So just a few more points, they would have been in Singapore also. So it's one of the most highly disputed
Yes,
contests.
yes.
And you know, with the stakes being as they are, you know, you could tell that they really gave it their all.
Like the costumes, so you know, so smooth.
They're so for me they're so sparky.
Yeah.
You know, they really remind me of the art anime because they look so bright and vibrant.
Cartoony.
Yes, and that was really the greatest event.
Wow, with all the great things that Cosplay Mania has brought through the years, can we expect something even better this year?
Well, one of the hallmarks of Cosplay Mania has been that it's always been reinventing itself every year with new activities and new improvements, and you can expect from the get-go with another amazing addition to Torch 3. In addition to the pairs competition, we will also have a video game themed solo cosplay competition this year called the Cyberzone Cosplay Grand Prix.
Okay. Oh, I remember Cyberzone Cosplay Tour. Is it something similar?
In fact, it's the spiritual successor of the tour, except that Cosplay.ph will be managing it. We do realize that there are some people who want to participate in a solo competition, while the Torch preliminaries are mostly a pairs competition. So this is our way of satisfying that desire to have that solo competition.
So, for more details, all you have to do is visit torch.cosplay.ph for rules and judging criteria.
You know, this convention fever is hitting me right now, but Torch and Cosplay Mania is still a whiles away.
Don't worry, Pablo, because on June 23 there will be another yearly cosplay contest that's moving to a brand new venue. That's right, Cosplay Challenge 3 is moving to Studio 2 right across the Riverbanks Center Mall.
Wow, Cosplay Challenge 3 in a brand new venue? I hope it's not very hot.
Yeah. No, it's not. Studio 2 is fully air-conditioned, 660 square meter space, and guess what?
Yes.
It will be the venue for the season finale of the Cosplay Show.
Wow, so the epic episode 13 is going to be there?
Yes, and we'll be doing it in front of a live audience.
Wow, a live audience.
Yes. We also have the interview of the cast and crew of the Cosplay Show, as well as the show bloopers and other amusing bits from the show that was never released.
Wow, I'm looking forward to that. Well, but there will also be a contest, right?
Yes, definitely. And the winners will get 5,000, 3,000, 2,000 pesos worth of cash and gift certificates.
So that's 10,000 pesos worth
yes.
of cash and prizes.
As far as this, best of all, it's absolutely free.
Wow.
No entrance or registration fees, so all the cosplayers are free to attend.
I can't wait, but you know, I'm also excited about the next episode because we will have none other than Jin Hoson.
Yes, and this, I can't wait either. We're in the final stretch of season 1 of the Cosplay Show, and we're getting ready to end it with a big bang.
Yes, anyways, that's it for this episode of the Cosplay Show.
And once again, we'd like to thank our producer Zenian, video editor and animator Jason Tapel, and our marketing guy Henry De Dios, and our assistant director John Magat Jr., and of course our director Alex Sibuk. And also thanks to Irving Go for the lights, and of course our special guest Jesuke and Vio for
Yes.
gracing the show.
Yes, all the way from Singapore.
Yes.
The show is looking for advertisers, so if you'd like to advertise with us or you would like us to review your cosplay related product, please email us at hdios@cosplay.ph. Again, this is Pablo Byron.
And guys, sing song!
Until next week, good night and keep cosplaying!